Welcome to Visualize, the podcast where collaboration fuels change. I'm your host, Chris Baker, and each week we'll explore incredible connections between nonprofits, businesses, and the community. This is a space where we highlight inspiring partnerships, uncover strategies for creating meaningful impact, and share stories that show how working together can make all the difference. Whether you're a nonprofit leader, a business owner, or someone just passionate about building connections, this podcast is for you. Welcome to Visualize. Today we have Natalie Tyler. I didn't say this right. Natalie Tyler. And she works at the World AIDS Museum. Natalie.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
I'm so grateful that you're here as well. Could you share with us and everybody that's out here a little bit about your journey and what inspired you to become a part of WAM, World AIDS Museum?
Well, my journey working with nonprofit organizations began over 30 years ago. Originally, I'm from New Jersey, came to Florida 10 years ago. And working in nonprofits, they are all about the nonprofits to help social change, individuals that are struggling for social needs, and to improve the quality of life and advocate for those who cannot advocate for themselves. So when I saw this opportunity at the World AIDS Museum, which is WAM, I'm like, okay, this is personal to me. At this point in my career, I really am very conscientious of where I want to go and what I want to do when it comes to my career. And working with the population HIV AIDS clients and also educating them, that's important to me. Because, the mission of the World AIDS Museum is to promote dialogue that eliminates the HIV AIDS stigma through education, cultural programming, and dialogue that is going to promote these things as well.
I think that's extremely valuable and important because right now there's still that stigma in the community. HIV is a bad thing. Right. But it's not what it used to be.
Not at all. Not at all. And when you in the museum, it's beautiful because, chronologically, we set up exactly what the chronological aspects of HIV, where it began. What's going on today, right. The medication that's taking place. So it's not like it was back when it hit the scenes in the early 80s, the late 70s. Right. So it's different now. But still, I don't think it gets as not much notoriety as it should. Okay. Because some people still don't think, HIV, it's no longer here, because it's not spoken about a lot. But it's still strong and it's still going on. And most importantly, people need to know their status. I don't care if you're male, female, heterosexual, homosexual, know your status. Because, I have friends who are females that are straight but have HIV.
It's not just a LGBTQ.
No, it's not at all.
It's not in that culture. It's everywhere. It's global. Like there's so many populations all over the world that are affected by it. And so, one of the things that we have a lot more resources here and we have a lot more medications here than some other places. Right.
And there's other populations that are not able to get the education and get the medication that they need.
Right.
And that's, that causes a problem for people who really need their meds because there are, they have a whole lot of vast medications right now. Mm-hmm. They have Cabenuva, which is the one-time shot. They have PrEP, which prevents you before, a preventive medication. Mm-hmm. But the stigma is still out there. And I think people need to really become educated on HIV.
Right.
And like I said, step one is know your status. Okay. Become educated on it. And like I said, the World AIDS Museum, we want to eliminate that negative stigma that is attached with HIV and AIDS through education, cultural programming, dialogue, so that we can be able to sit around the table and speak on this.
Talking about some of those programs, can you dive a little bit more into what those are? Like when you talk about the education, what type of education are you able to do right now? Do you have any upcoming events, anything happening in the future?
Well, right now in the future, which is pretty exciting, is that, the World AIDS Museum is, we have been selected again for the last decade as a beneficiary for the Florida AIDS Walk.
Oh, awesome.
With the AHF, which is the AIDS Health Foundation.
All right.
Okay. So, and that is going to take place on March 15th, 2025.
Okay.
And there are 15 other beneficiaries along with ourselves. So that's 16 organizations that are going to benefit from this walk as we raise funds.
Wow, that's amazing.
And all those funds are going to be matched by AHF. And those funds are going
Matched.
to, yes, dollar for dollar. So if you have someone who's going to get $50, that 50 is going to turn into 100.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So, I mean, in order, and for that, the funds that are coming through the door for the World AIDS Museum is going to continue to help us increase our programs, increase our awareness, increase the education portion of it. You know, we want to also continue the programs that we already have existing right now and increase the exhibits that are going on.
That's okay. That's fantastic. One other thing that we actually have going on
Oh,
as a collaboration
yeah.
is our Headshots for a Cause.
Correct. Yes. And I'm excited by that.
Yeah. So let me just explain a little bit more about Headshots for a Cause if the audience doesn't know. So at the end of 2024, we tried a pilot program to see how it would go.
Right.
And so we started to give the net proceeds of the headshots to a nonprofit organization. What happened is it actually started to grow a little bit more, and we're loving the trajectory. So and now here in 2025,
right,
we are selecting 3 nonprofits every quarter.
Woo woo, we're one of them.
And one of the nonprofits is WHAM, World AIDS Museum. And so when they go on to headshotsforacause.com, they actually can choose which nonprofit of the 3 that are selected that their proceeds can go, or they can divvy it up between all 3 of them. If that's where they would love to
and
do.
the timing is perfect because it's the beginning of the new year. People are looking for the new career moves. And like I said, we can promote this with the other 15 beneficiary organizations to say, hey, do you know someone in your organization or know someone who needs a headshot? Yeah. Well, here we got Headshot for a Cause. You know, and it's perfect timing, like I said, for the first quarter of the year, because these funds are going to go towards the goal that we have for the Florida AIDS Walk.
That's fantastic. That actually makes me even happier that we're able to work together, because the money is going to actually benefit
and be
right
doubled.
At the right time and doubled.
And doubled.
That's even better.
Yes, and double, so that we can double the programming and double the efforts that we are making to make sure that we're educating, providing artistic expression, bringing cultural programming to the community to let them know that, hey, HIV is here and it is not a death sentence. AIDS and HIV is not a death sentence.
No, it's not as bad as it was.
Not at all, but we still need to educate our community. Correct. And we need to educate our Black community. Because right now, our Black community in Broward County has the largest HIV statistics across this whole state of Florida. So Broward County and Miami-Dade are leading.
So that brings us to Colors of HIV.
Yes.
Can you speak a little bit about that now?
Which is probably my favorite exhibit, Colors of HIV, because there is really no color. It's Black, it's white, it's Hispanic, it is poor. You know, it's on the top of the financial spectrum. You know, it's your neighbor, it's your coworker, you know, it's your family. Yeah. I mean, for me personally, and, you know, I'm not sharing anything that my family member wouldn't want to be shared, because my sister's been living with HIV for 35 years. She has a proud story to tell about it, you know, and you know, she's 67 right now. So for her, you know, to change her life and to have been living with this when it first came on the scenes up north. And, you know, when you first get diagnosed, and, you know, she was then just living in denial, but also doing some self-destructive behavior. But then once you get a grip on it and say, okay, this is not the end of my life, you know, it's just a comma punctuating my life to loftier heights. That's what I say. You know, it means something to me to work for the World AIDS Museum, because I personally have someone most dear to me that is going through it, you know, but now has changed. Her light is back. She is a witness. She has a testimony. So when we talk about the colors of HIV, it doesn't matter what color you are. They're all different colors. You see that our exhibit shows with Magic Johnson when he came on the scene. You know, it shows from Arthur Ashe, okay, when he was diagnosed with HIV through a blood transfusion. It shows Ryan White, the young boy, had HIV through also a blood transfusion and couldn't go to school. So there is no color, but there's colors. Every color of the rainbow basically affects us with HIV. So that exhibit, when you see people's faces, it could be my face, it could be your face, it could be our neighbor's face, it could be someone at Publix, a supermarket, anywhere we go. you never know what the
Mhm.
status of someone is. So those are the colors of HIV that speaks to me.
And the story about your sister
Yeah.
specifically, I have to go back to that when you said 35 years.
Yeah, 35 years.
So that's, a testament
Yeah.
to the fact that it's not a death sentence.
No, it's not. And she's coming to Florida to be with me during the AIDS walk so she can walk and give her
Oh.
testimony and share her testimony about
That's
where
good.
she's come from and where she was and where she's at right now. And just to see her now, her life is different. She's different. And it speaks to me that she, my sister, Juanita is different now. And even though that changed her, it changed her for the better in reality.
On, there's a lot of stories. I've struggled through different things, and I'm no longer really talking to my family.
Mhm.
It's for the better.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I am stronger.
Mhm.
I am more resilient.
Mhm.
I've been able to actually follow my dreams.
Right.
It's not always a case. So in the case of your sister, I'm so happy to hear, she didn't look at this as an end, but
Right.
now she's looking at it as a whole new
As a whole.
beginning.
And in the beginning, the medical field didn't know what it was. They were given cocktails. You had to take this pill with that pill, this pill with that pill. And when you were diagnosed with it, it was as if, okay, that's it. You got about a month to live. People were feeling that they were just desolate. This was it. But it wasn't it. It wasn't it. As she continued to live her life and continued to change her mentality, which is the most important thing.
Oof.
Because you are what
Yes.
you think. I believe that. So once she started to change her mentality and say, you know what, this is not a death sentence. Let me get on the regimen. Let me educate myself as well as she educated herself on what medications to take, what works for her, what does not work for her. And she also discovered that those who do not have HIV are more of a harm to her than those.
Mm.
If you do not have HIV and if there's a sickness that you have and someone who has HIV because their immune system is down, you are more, at risk. That person is more at harm than the person, who has HIV. So people with HIV has to be more careful of the people that they're around
Yeah.
because their immune systems are down.
No, that's true. Yeah.
So she's come a long way and I'm proud of her. And she's just living her life now and living a great life now. And she's proud to say, yeah, I'm living with HIV and I'm living with HIV successfully. So those to me, that's the colors of HIV. It doesn't matter who you are. And right now, even with our older active adults, our senior population, it's about educating because, a lot of older active adult seniors are, having intercourse and they think that,
Mhm.
hey, it's not going to affect me. I can't get pregnant, but you can attract an STD.
Yeah.
So, also it's, the World AIDS Museum going out into the community to educate those who are not coming to the museum. So that's a goal that I have, like to bring the World AIDS Museum out into the world.
Needs more visibility.
More visibility.
Yeah.
One of my goals or one of my dreams is to have a traveling van where our exhibit is in a van and that we can go out and we can share and be able to share what we've had seen and share, like it says here, we document, remember, empower. So we document the history of HIV and share that with the community and empower people to see, hey, I'm empowered to go on with my life and to have an audio so that people can hear the origins of HIV and just to go out into the world to share that with everyone else and to bring awareness because that's what we're supposed to do. We are supposed to, and our mission is to educate, artistic expression, which having a van is a nice artistic expression.
It could be.
And
definitely.
cultural
Wow.
programming, diverse cultural programming.
Yeah. Have you worked with any other nonprofits in the past?
Yes, we've worked with several nonprofits in the past, and we're looking to work with others as well. UJIMA is a nonprofit organization that is also a recipient of the AHF. So we've been collaborating with them. We've collaborated with Legacy Builders. So
Okay.
we've had different events that are going on there. And we also collaborate. For example, I have a softball team. So we collaborate with my Cheers, which is one of our sponsors. They're sponsoring, providing a nice financial support So we're collaborating with other organizations, and we welcome more collaborations, so that we can, because when you collaborate with other organizations, you are able to have a broader reach.
You are. And it's not always about the money.
No, it's not always about the money.
Sometimes it's a resource, or
Yes.
there's something else that the other nonprofit or for-profit business even is able to give.
Right.
And I
That's right.
think that's one of the things that we're trying to do with this show, is to really make sure that, hey, it's not always about, donating money is very helpful.
Mhm.
But it's not the only way you can make
Right.
things happen. There's a lot of other ways.
Because
That's good.
even with your, in volunteers, there are the 3 T's with volunteers: time, talent, or treasure.
Mm,
So either, you can give your time, which is very valuable. So if you need a
Yes.
volunteer to, do this at one event or something else, the time is very valuable. Your talent, you may have a volunteer who is just an expert with media, social media, who's an
Sure.
expert with Excel, whatever it is, that their organizational skills. And then their treasure is their financial participation.
Yep.
And it may not be their treasure. They may know someone and say, hey, I know someone who is able to give on a level that I cannot give.
It's true. Sometimes we know the people that are
Right.
looking for a cause,
Right.
and we're not the ones that actually have the money in the coffers
Correct.
to pay for
And
anything.
sometimes
So,
people are like, oh, I don't have much to give. I can only give $25. But if you give $25, that $25 will be matched from AHF for the Florida AIDS Walk. So people got to understand, it's not how much you give, it's that you give. That's the most important thing. Or walk. That's right. And or run. Or you can virtually walk. You can sign up, because I have my family that is from New Jersey.
Yeah.
So a lot of my family members have signed up to virtually walk
and
and participate, so that, I want to across the whole United States, get people involved. Say, hey, there's the Florida AIDS Walk that's going on in March here in Florida. I live in Texas. I don't have to walk, but I can virtually walk. Here I am, in South Carolina. I can virtually walk, so that we are on the map. The World AIDS Museum. That means the whole wide world.
Yeah, it's not just South Florida.
No, it's not just
world.
South Florida. That's like saying, oh, HIV and AIDS only exist in South Florida. No, it exists across the whole globe.
Right.
And that's another, initiative that we are doing for WHAM, is get it out across the globe, internationally, have our exhibits shown other places, so that we are more than just here in Broward County.
And I think that's extremely important.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome. All right. Looking ahead, what are some of the strategic priorities that World AIDS Museum is looking to add to its mission to help eliminate the stigma of HIV and AIDS through its programming?
Well, we want to increase our diversity and international content with different collections and exhibits and programs, so that we can connect with other museums across the United States.
Yeah.
So that we can share our exhibits with them as well, so that we can be able to, reach other people on a more broad spectrum.
Okay.
So that's one of the goals as well. And then to share our exhibits so that they're mobile, so that, for example, if you're walking through a mall and you see different artwork, that artwork is from different artists and from different exhibits.
Right.
So to be able to share that, so that we can be able to broaden that and bring more people into the doors, and also to engage with other cultural partners. So we want to engage with other partners, like we mentioned, so that we can support our mission and support their mission as well.
Awesome. So how can the community and the world, hopefully the whole world, can help get in contact with you? So, what is the number to call to help get involved, to donate, website? What's the information that you can give to our watchers?
Well, you can donate by going on www.World AIDS Museum. Here we have a little information right here. Okay. All right. And we're at the www.worldaidsmuseum, and you can,
.org.
Yes, .org.
Yep.
Okay. And you can also go on our website. You can also go to the Florida AIDS Walk.
Okay.
And you will see the recipients there, and you will see the World AIDS Museum, and you just click, and then you can make a donation to Natalie Warrior Walkers. That's the name of my team, because we are
one more time.
Natalie's Warrior Walkers.
Okay.
Because you got to be a warrior in
You
order
do.
to fight the fight with HIV and AIDS. The fight does not stop. You have
No.
to armor up and you have to get out there. And, you can make a donation. You can walk virtually. You can say, you know what? I would like to create my own team under your team, Natalie, and I'm going to raise X amount of dollars.
That's the goal. Yep.
So, and that is the goal. And if you need any further information, you can email me at natalie@worldaidsmuseum.org.
Perfect. And also there is a number here as well. So
Oh, yes.
954-930-0550.
Yes. And please check out our exhibits, document, remember, and empower.
So the actual exhibit here is within ArtServe.
Correct. We're located right here in the ArtServe building at 1350 East Sunrise Boulevard. When you come in the beautiful ArtServe building, you will see the World AIDS Museum. Follow the arrows. And the first exhibit you will see will be the faces of HIV.
Yeah.
And then you will be able to walk through the museum where it's chronologically detailed as to the origins of HIV. And then you can walk through and see exactly what's happened from the 80s, advocacy, what's going on in the 2000s, and what's happening now up to date. So it gives you a lot of valuable information. And the funds we raise, we want to raise those funds so we can also have an audio component of the museum. So because there's so much information, you want to walk and you want to listen and hear exactly what's going on.
I love that.
And we're really happy and proud to have the founder, which is Steve Stagone. Okay. So he is the founder of the World AIDS Museum. Okay. So he is very supportive with the information and all that we have going on here.
That's amazing. All right. So before we wrap up our show, I have a legacy question that I ask all my guests. So this one's personal to you. So what is the legacy you hope to leave behind through everything that you are doing in life, and that how will it help inspire future generations?
My legacy, when it's all said and done and I close my eyes and I take my last breath and people think of me, and I want them to think of me and say, Natalie really is a very positive person. She gives off great energy. I love life. I have a zest for life. And I just want to close my eyes and say, God, is my job well done? Did I make this world better when I left? Which is my goal. Yes. And to make people smile and laugh and just enjoy life, because that's what it's all about. We are all in here together. None of us are coming out alive. So we might as well enjoy each other. Yes, and true. I want people to know and say, she's a good heart. She's a good person. I'm glad when I meet people, no matter where I meet them, I want them to feel that glow, that energy, that flow that I give. That's going to make you want to wake up and smile again another day.
That's beautiful. I love that. I really do. So, Natalie, thank you so much for being on Visualize
Chris,
with us.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate you. And look, everybody out there, please make sure you check out our website, www.worldaidsmuseum.org. Go onto the Florida AIDS website, look up Natalie's Warrior Walkers, make a donation, and Headshot for Cause, because we know some people out there, you need a headshot. Get rid of that old headshot that you had 10 years ago and get a new headshot.
It's true.
It's true. Okay. True. And it will benefit, it'll benefit two other organizations besides the World AIDS Museum. But get a new headshot, y'all.
Again, Natalie, thank you so much for being on the show today. And we look forward to our future collaborations.
Oh, definitely. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of Visualize. We hope that the inspiration and practical insights can help you foster stronger connections and meaningful change. Don't forget to subscribe, share the episode, and leave us a review. To learn more about Visuals by Momo and how we support collaboration and storytelling, visit visualsbymomo.com. A huge thank you to everyone out there listening. Until next time, remember, collaboration fuels change, and your connections can inspire the world.